My name is Ricardo Arroyo. I'm a product of BPS. I have 5 nephews and nieces of school age, all who attend BPS, one who has an IEP. My mother taught in BPS for 35 years. My sister is currently teaching in BPS, and my father was once the president of this very committee. I personally represent Hyde Park, Mattapan, and Roslindale, and I'm the chair of the Committee on Public Health on the Boston City Council. I've read this plan, and I believe before, and more strongly now, that only remote learning can adequately protect the safety of our students, families, and staff at this time. That said, I'd like to direct your attention to the BPS plan, which we've been told is informed by science, relies on data, and provides necessary safety for our school communities. Practical realities is on page 11 to 12, and I'm going to quote this plan. Following the reopening of school facilities, it is likely that there will be some level of exposure to and/or outbreak of COVID-19. That's one bullet point. Second bullet point. Our workforce is made up of dedicated public servants, but many, including educators, bus drivers, and monitors, as well as other support service employees who work closely with students, may be at higher risk for COVID-19. Just some editorial there. They're not maybe, they are. People of color and families living with less financial resources, this is a bullet point, are disproportionately harmed by COVID-19. The majority of BPS families meet one or both of these descriptors. Regulatory guidance issued by the Boston Public Health Commission, CDC, Department of Education and Secondary Education, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, and other state and federal agencies often direct a one-size-fits-all solution to the problem that manifests differently in every community, including in every school district. And finally, the Boston Public Schools will rely on guidance from the Boston Public Health Commission about current virus conditions in determining if and when to return to in-person instruction in 2020. How can anybody read that and determine that this plan accounts for those issues? It does not, and it cannot. When I proposed declaring racism a public health crisis in March, it was because our systems are structurally racist and create disparity and inequity. What message does it send our communities of color, who make up over 80% of our student population and who have been devastated by COVID and are at a higher risk for COVID? A fact this plan acknowledges that we are willing to subject them to unsafe schooling conditions that are, and I quote, likely to cause an outbreak of a disease that has caused so much death and illness disproportionately in their communities and their homes. That is the definition of causing systemic harm. This plan has nothing for contact tracing. This plan has nothing for mandatory testing. This plan doesn't protect our children. I intend to fight and advocate for a plan that does. I feel wholeheartedly for families that want a plan that lets their children be in school. And I understand that this plan does not allow for that reality at this time. Thank you for your work on this, and I intend to be on top of this to the best of my ability to ensure that we create a testing plan that actually has contact tracing, that actually has mandated testing, that actually has some kind of solution or plan for asymptomatic students. There is nothing in this plan that deals with the fact that 25% to 20% of people who have this disease don't show symptoms. There's nothing in this plan to deal with that. That's a reality that won't go away no matter how many drafts of this plan we put together. And so I look forward to hearing how we plan to address that moving forward, and I thank you for your time.